Welcome back to Keep Expecting Miracles. I am Ilissa.
And I'm Jessica.
Welcome back, everyone. How are you doing, Jessica?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be recording.
Same.
Yeah, it's Monday again. We're recording.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
we
podcast releasing.
yes, all in one. I wonder if that's a crazy thing. We probably need to rework that coming up. We want to let everybody know that we will be taking a recording break.
It's just like a little summer break. A
Yeah,
little
we
summer
we
break.
we're gonna see if we are gonna release new episodes in June, but they will be previously recorded. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get a break for the month of June and July. But we're gonna release our older episodes, and so people can get a chance to go back and listen to them if you haven't listened. So it'll be good. It'll just be probably like 4 weeks
Mm-hmm.
of the older, maybe
Yeah.
our top four episodes, maybe.
Yes. Before we move on, I want to say happy birthday because it was just your birthday
Oh
weekend.
yeah, thank
And thank
you.
you to everybody who said, join me in wishing Alyssa happy birthday on
Mm.
Instagram.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the well wishes, and I believe I said thank you to everybody on Instagram. But thank you so much. My birthday is a wonderful time. I was telling Jessica that I think that the Tauruses are the only people that request sleep on their birthday. It's like that is a must. That is a part of celebrating our birthdays, making sure we get adequate rest and even more than adequate, like more rest. So,
That's so funny.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's definitely when my birthday comes. I mean, I'll sleep after. I'll sleep at some other time.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yes, I had a really nice birthday. It was fun. It was really nice. It was very well thought out and intentionally planned by my husband. Um I was very pleased and happy
good.
with we one of the restaurants we went to for brunch. It was a Greek Michelin guide. It doesn't have a star yet, but a Michelin guide breakfast and brunch restaurant where they make fresh bread every day.
Mm,
So pita, pastries, regular bread, um, desserts. Oh my gosh, the desserts! Oh my goodness, some of them we couldn't even try because they're sold out. Like our
really?
reservation was at 10, and they were sold out by the time we got
What?
there. Yeah. So baklava and cinnamon rolls and coffee cake, and it just amazing fresh bread and really good meats too. I don't eat lamb, but really nicely obviously cured seafood. They do
Yeah.
in-house curing of all their seafood. Um so it was in the restaurant is beautiful. Like it had a fountain in the middle outside, and then it just looked like Greece on the inside, like the buildings. And so I was like, is this a foreshadowing? Like, we can't, because he knows I love to travel. I'm a
Hmm.
traveler. And so I was just like, oh, that's so nice. You brought me to Greece
Right.
for my birthday. And so it was really nice. And then later on that night, after our activity, we went to an Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was Michelin star, so it was really nice and
Mm-hmm.
delicious food. I was like, "Oh, we're in Greece and Italy for my birthday." He knows I'm just like Mediterranean food, seafood. That's
Mm-hmm.
my thing, my luxury. It's good food. So
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That's still a good
yes,
way to celebrate it. Look, you rested well and you ate good.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I know Elena's so funny. She was asking me. I guess her teacher's birthday is the day before mine, and I guess her teacher had said she had wanted a new car. I haven't been asking for a new car, but she asked me. She's like, "Mommy, do you want a new car?" And so she asked me. I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "What kind of car do you want?" And so I told her. And so every day she's been asking me, she's like, "Mommy, I don't see your car outside. Where's it at?"
Oh my
Like, she
gosh.
really thinks that I'm supposed to get. She's like, "Mommy, where's your car at? Where's it
Oh.
at? It's not here." So I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm not gonna get a car right now. I'll tell you when it's gonna come." She's like, "But I thought you said you wanted it." I'm like, "Yeah,
You see that the childlike, I want something and it comes. I get
yeah,
it.
yeah." And she was like, "Mommy, are you gonna let me ride in it when you get your new car?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's just so funny. Like, girl, this is gonna be y'all's car.
Right? That's
that,
hilarious.
that's whose really car it is. It's the children's
Mhm.
car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but it was fun. It was a nice weekend. What about you? What did you do?
What did I do?
Or
Rested.
moreover, how are you feeling? Good.
Yeah, I rested and um yeah, my nephew's birthday party, I took the kids there and you know, was able to attend one of my classes that I'm taking on Caribbean herbalism and learned a lot and yeah, just it was low key, pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the days when I don't have to take the kids to and from school
Mhm.
because it does
Mhm.
give me, just a time to just like breathe. I actually still had to take my son to football practice, but that's fine because he's doing spring football. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was good.
Well, how are you feeling?
Accomplished. Yeah, I'm feeling accomplished. Feeling good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we wanted to get right into our I am segment. We're continuing on our nourishment series, and this time we're focusing on the soul or the spirit, nourishing your spirit, and
Hmm.
how you can do that. We've been talking about how food nourishes us and how we're able to nourish our mind through visualization and meditation, also reading, and then also the body physically doing activity. But we wanted to highlight and talk about how we are nourishing our spirit, which all of those things are interconnected. When you nourish your body, you're nourishing your spirit. When you're nourishing your spirit, you're nourishing your body. They're all
Hmm.
intertwined. You can't, it's not just one, thing separately. They're not three separate entities. They're all connected. And so a lot of the things that we talk about do apply to each segment, each episode. Um, so that's the beauty of it. Um, and it shows people like you, the effects of your life can change, different aspects of your life can change if you focus on one specific area, because then you're touching on another area. It's just, how
Hmm.
you, with the intentionality behind what you're doing. So, but yes, when I think about, what comes to your mind when you think about nourishing your spirit, Jessica?
Let's see. When I'm going to nourish my spirit, I am caring for my wellness through prayer, through meditation. It's just like you said, everything is connected, everything goes together. Um, and it's also making sure that I'm not betraying myself, making sure that um, I'm number one, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So um, it is aligning with who am I, knowing who I am, and taking time to feed myself in, through prayer, through thinking of myself, like holding myself to high regard, like
Mm-hmm.
that. If
Mm-hmm.
that, I feel like I went all around. But yeah, what do you think about what comes to mind when you think of nourishing your spirit?
What comes to my mind is really being um, tapped in and being able to hear from God
Hmm.
and being able to use my intuition, trusting in my intuition and my decision making, and knowing when to do certain things. Um, if my spirit is not nourished or if it's not fed, that connection can feel, you know, not there. It can feel like it, like, okay, God, where are you at? And so really developing a spiritual robustness for me, it looks like obviously constant prayer and just, I mean, even in the Bible, it says God says like test. You can test this out. You can say, okay, I'm going to pray about something one day and have it see if it shows up into your life. The next day. It's simple. It's
Hmm.
so you know exercising that and putting that into practice develops your spirituality and your feeding your soul. For me, I love watching podcasts. Um, even when Oprah, like, what's her show on Sunday?
Super Soul Sunday.
Super Soul Sunday. I
Hmm.
love that. I love I love seeing authors talk about their spiritual books, reading spiritual books, reading books about spirituality.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. I agree with that. So it's the I didn't even think about that really. Um, it's taking time to make sure that you are educated, to well read. Like in order for us to express ourselves in the way that we do express ourselves, we have to learn that. We have to see that. We have to foster that. You know,
mhm,
the I think what as a when you said that as a nurse, you had to do continued education, right? You
mhm,
had to like take classes to just make sure that you're becoming a better nurse and maintaining the integrity of your practice. And that is a great point with the watching of the podcast, and that's another way to do that, to maintain the integrity of yourself, the integrity
mhm.
of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. I like watching Next Level. So hopefully people like watching our podcasts now. Obviously watching our own, um and just really knowing that, what how I'm going about my day-to-day life is not just me. There are other aspects of the spiritual realm, the unseen, that are influencing me, whether
Yes.
it's my ancestors, my guides, the Holy Spirit. Like, I am being influenced constantly.
Hmm.
And obviously, having an ancestor altar and leaving lighting candles and just acknowledging the presence of those guides in our everyday life, really really helps me stay connected and helps me hear from God when I think I need it. Like, okay, Lord, here we go.
Yeah,
What
so
are we
those are the
doing?
practices, it sounds like, that keeps you
Yeah, it keeps
grounded
me
in the present.
connected. It keeps me
Hmm.
connected.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
I agree. I
yeah.
agree that because when you can feel that, when you are spiritually connected and you know that you're spiritually connected, it prevents you from getting taken away by the issues of the world.
Hmm.
It stops a spiraling mind. It's like a constant reminder of you're safe, you're safe, you're safe.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I do some of the similar, some similar stuff. Obviously, we share podcasts back and forth, and different videos back and forth. But definitely, my thing is mine actually changes. So there was a time when me being spiritually connected meant that I was listening or reading the astrological weather of the week, right? So I would listen to one podcast that was about, well, here's the planetary astrological, um, basically like what the energies are for the day, and then here it is for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like as my um I don't know if I would necessarily say that my faith has become stronger, but as I have changed spiritually or evolved, I find myself no longer needing that. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a long time since I went and looked at the daily thing, because it was me trying to like dodge, like, okay, what are the people who are not aware of the energies gonna feel like? Now it's like a persistent, like, I am here, I am grounded in who I am, and I know who I am connected to and what I am connected to.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that whatever anyone else does or any other situations is a reflection. um it oftentimes a reflection of themselves, but then also sometimes you just got to go through things.
Yeah.
You have to,
Yeah.
just let them come and pass.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. That's, I mean, that is the main. We keep saying it. We're going to keep saying it almost on every episode, probably every time it comes to my mind, because this is how you know the Holy Spirit is working and that the message needs to come out. But going within, when you're looking outside of yourself for inspiration, for connection, um, which is, that is the human experience. We are here to create, we're here to draw off, inspiration and look outside of ourselves, but ultimately we have to remember the power that is within us.
Hmm.
And the only way you can truly be tapped in and truly hear from God, from source, is when you go within yourself and you see the strength within yourself. You see the love that's within yourself. I can't even tell you how many times that has been conveyed to me in the last 3 weeks. Whether it's been in meditation, in prayer, in the shower with water coming down on me. It's what is the power that I hold.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree with you. But so what does it look like when you know, I don't want to say not tapped in, but like how do you know
Oh, I
when
have an
you're
answer for that.
how do you know when you need to be more spiritually nourished?
Anxiousness. I get, because I'm coming from a side, from an area where I was wrapped in an energy for so long that did not know that I was not being nourished. I did not know that what that even looked like, what that even was. Which is why I'm glad that we have the podcast, and that I'm able to speak to these things, because it tells me how much I have changed and how much I've allowed myself to be in the light, and where I was stuck in the shadow. But when I was not spiritually nourished, when I could not hear God, or it's not even that I couldn't hear God, it's not even that I couldn't hear the spirits, it's that I was ignoring, and I couldn't even decipher what it meant. I was just so wrapped up in the world. And it was constant anxiety, constant stress. It was the inability to even determine what's good for me. I didn't know. I just thought everything, everything turns out the way that it's supposed to. When, it's everything does turn out the way that it's supposed to, but it's so much deeper than that, so much more complicated than that. And I do definitely, I agree, going within, like, I have to go within. I have to. I have to, otherwise I go crazy. Um, just to have that moment of peace. But then also being able, like, once you have gone within, being able to have a community of people that you're able to speak to, that you're able to learn from, that you can, um where you're just aligned. um yeah, that also has helped me, because there was a time when I would even be searching and I'm like, but I don't know who else I can talk to about this. And I found that, um in those times, it was listening to the other podcasts. It was,
Mhm.
so if I wasn't feeding, let's see how I should say this. When I'm not connected, when I'm not nourishing my spirit, I you would say that I would be someone who needs some sort of medication for depression and anxiety. Like, that's what I feel like, you know, would have that's what I would have gone to, had I not have had the background already to know, hey, maybe it's time that you return to the spirit. Maybe you need to go ahead and look at the unseen. Listen to these podcasts, talk to these people, read these books. It was through reading books that I'm like, oh, I'm finding myself again. I had to actively go and do that. Like, I would have still been lost. Um,
What's one book that you would reference? Because I could just imagine somebody out there feeling the same way right now, listening to this. Is like, what's one book that they can go to?
I my my main book, my okay, let me not say my main book. The author that actually, like, unlocked the door, was Deepak Chopra. So anything, like, start off with anything from Deepak Chopra, because the way that he starts the book, he doesn't start his books like you've read all the rest.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, this is where you're at. This is what you need.
Hmm.
And I love that
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And Deepak Chopra has been on Super Soul Sunday. I'm so glad you brought that up
Hmm.
so many times.
Hmm.
Um, because he's really is gifted at bringing you to, like, he's like a warm hug. Like, come on, honey, let's let's
Yeah.
go. Let me get you right.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how
Yeah.
he's very nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
He's very
Mm-hmm.
nurturing. Even while reading his words is very nurturing and kind and forgiving. I think that is what I'm glad you talked about. I didn't want to cut you off, but when you're talking about not knowing before, like not knowing what is good for you,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so sometimes when that happens, you just avoid everything. A lot of times, spirituality gets lumped together with religion, and
Mm.
what happens is when you're feeling disconnected, you shy away from anything religious or you shy away from anything spiritual because the religious aspect of things puts the fear.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
operate from a place of fear and control,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that fear that doesn't allow you to exercise your own intuition,
Mm.
which is what God wants us to do. That is him speaking through us to us.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad you said, like, I don't know what's good for me. That is the number one symptom. That not the number one symptom, but the number one indicator of, am I connected
Mm-hmm.
to source? How can I reconnect to source? Reaching out and saying, Lord, come down here right now and give me a sign, give me a message. They're everywhere though. The
Mm-hmm.
signs are everywhere. Just opening your eyes, saying, Lord, help, whether it's help me remember my dreams tonight, send me a message through an animal that I cross paths with, or a person. I was just listening to a podcast yesterday. She's a medium that she was a commander in the Navy
Oh.
during 9/11,
Oh,
and
shoot.
she was not spiritual at all, not religious at all. Now she's a full-on medium.
How does that work?
Her daughter got killed. got struck by lightning, and she receives messages from her daughter and other people now. She was doing a talk about the story and the situation, and it was a couple sitting in the front row, and they raised their hand and they said, our son died the exact same way. And we think he knew he was going to die because this is how he left his apartment set up.
Wow.
He left like a note. It wasn't even suicidal. He left just like, this is what's, his soul knew that he wasn't going to be here that long.
Mm,
And so now the lady channels their son also. um
mm,
he is like her main guide and her main source of messages. And but she was saying that when you have I'm so it was she explained this so um well, and I hope I do the same thing. She was saying that when you have the thought, this is how you know you're being guided by your ancestors, by the Lord, your guides, whoever. When you have the thought, oh, let me just go get my nails done, and you sit next to, and you maybe you've lost a family member, maybe let's just say you've lost a sister, and you sit next to somebody at the nail shop, or in the pedicure chair, who's also lost a sister, and you start talking to the person and they start connecting, and you start connecting with that person, and you realize like, oh, I have a lot in common, we can really learn from each other, we can go through this grief process together. She 100%, she said that is how you know that you're being guided, because your sister or whoever, your guide, sent you to that place so you
mm,
could talk to that person. And she said you also need to know that that person's guides sent them there too, that they're
mhm,
also communicating with one another. I have a sister, I have this person, they should go to the nail shop today. Let's get them together.
mm.
Those kinds of synchronicities are real.
Yeah. We both had something similar to that, like having synchronicities like that. And it feels very like loose, I would say, or light and
Mhm.
almost freeing, where it's like,
Mhm.
hmm, I guess I'll just go and do this thing. And
Yes.
I've had to allow myself to accept those nudges so much where I'm just like, okay, God, show me I'm supposed to be doing this right now because this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Show me I should be here right now
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something else. And then, you do get it's like, oh, okay, now I see why.
Yes.
Now I'm in the right place. And
Yes.
the more that you follow that, the more you follow that, the more you get it, the more
Yes.
it's going to appear.
Yes.
And that does strengthen your, what do you, I wanted to say spiritual health. That's what it is. Your
Yeah, that's
spiritual
exactly.
health.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what we're talking about. Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. It gives you the confidence, and it shows you like, oh wow, this is
Mhm.
what can happen if I actually listen to my intuition.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she said that it's our ego that wants us to believe that it's us, that those thoughts are just us, when it's not. You
But
are hearing from source when you have those thoughts.
and sometimes it's too good to be true. Like that's why it feels like that.
Hmm.
Like the fact that we are joy is what's bringing us closer,
Yeah.
and more open spiritually.
Yeah.
Like we're often, I mean, I could speak for myself here, like afraid to go after joy, like go to the nail salon. Like, no, I can't do that right now. I got other stuff to do. Like, that's gonna be way too enjoyable for me.
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
But that's where that's how we should be. That's how life should feel. And over the weekend, actually, that's something that I had to do. I had to practice accepting something that's good, girl. I ain't tell you this. I unlocked the fact that someone left a review for me on Google, right? For my business. And I didn't ask for it. And they were like, "This is fabulous, yada yada." My heart immediately dropped and I felt like my mouth go dry and like a oh my gosh. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Why are these the same feelings that I get when I'm stressed out or like panicking about something? I was like, what is this? And then I opened it to read the review, read it, and like immediately had to put my phone, like close out of it. And I'm like, what is happening? And I
Mhm.
typed into ChatGPT, of course, like this is what's happening to me after I read this. And it was like, you're not accepting this. Your
Mhm.
body is fighting it. I
Mm.
was like, Lord. I said, okay, so I'm fighting away the good things.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, okay, new level of me unlocked. So what it told me to do was to put my hand over my heart and say, thank you. I am safe. I receive joy. And like basically pat your heart 3 times as you say that. And so that's one of my practices is like now in the mornings, I need to wake up and be open to receiving the gifts that spirit has for me.
Yeah.
And then I need to go to sleep accepting the gifts that spirit has for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So why do you think that is, how did that come to be?
that's a good question. That is a good question. I think that is learned behavior of watching things go wrong quite often with the
Mhm.
people around me, and then allowing that, not knowing how to get myself out of that, and not knowing how to follow that,
Mhm.
how not to follow that, excuse me,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just accepting it for myself. Like this is this is life. This is how it is. Things don't work out for everybody. I guess this
Mm.
is just the way the cookie crumbles, you
Just
know?
the self-deprecating, yeah. When
Yes.
that's not the case, though,
Exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
just and so that's why again, it's important that for our listeners, when you do find yourself wanting to get out of that, you then have to seek out, okay, the knowledge. Yes, you have to look at the podcast, the books, reprogram your mind, and then request from spirit, from God, from the ancestors, bring to me the people who need to be around me, who can be around me to continue to foster this
Mhm.
because I want to feel good in this lifetime. I don't want to feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and another aspect too is of spiritual nourishment. It's emotional, your emotional body, the emotional energy that you carry, and just um being aware.
Hmm.
Um a part of I tell people this all the time, a part of or and I have to tell myself that it's not just being able to identify other people's emotions. The way in which you're able to identify, I'm talking about emotional intelligence, the only way that you're going to be able to identify other people's emotions is if you are able to sit with them and release them yourself. You can only go so far with other people. If you haven't gone deep within yourself, then you're not going to be able to do that with anybody else.
Hmm.
And so, and a part of that is actually allowing those emotions to come out,
Yeah.
releasing, recognizing, oh shit, what is this?
Hmm.
So, yeah,
I can only imagine the training that you had to experience to be a therapist, all the work you had to do on yourself.
I know you have to be really comfortable with emotions. You have to be very, very open to any and every possible thing.
Hmm.
We literally would we would, have, do, mock play therapy sessions, and obviously stuff comes up. We're real people. And the first thing you want to do is hand somebody a tissue. That's rescuing.
Mm.
Why do you want that's stop you're uncomfortable with yourself. You want the tears to stop in the other person.
Hmm.
You're like, no, I just want them to give you. Why do they need a tissue? If they want a tissue, they'll ask you for a tissue. What are you trying to cover up in the other person that you're not okay with in yourself? Everybody is a mirror. Every person is a mirror. So, I mean, yeah, I could go on and on, and I don't obviously remember all of them, but it's being comfortable with emotions. Girl, I remember sitting in a room with like 3 family members and them all screaming at the top of their lungs at each other. And I'm just sitting in the room like, oh shit, this is not good. Like, how did I let this happen? I'm not in control of this situation. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that was our session for today. Bye. you know?
Goodness gracious.
So but emotional health and in being able to sit with your own emotions and experience them also is nourishing to your soul.
Yes, yes, yes. That is another aspect of spiritual nourishment. Because what isn't it? I always want to quote somebody, but I can never remember exactly what they say, and I can never remember who said it.
So,
But I know I've heard, I have heard that we are spoken to through emotion. Basically, the emotion tells all,
mhm.
and it's you'll find the people who are most I would say disruptive to other people's lives often are way emotionally dysregulated.
Mm.
You know,
Regulated.
yeah, cannot hold anything for themselves, or need help and don't know how to ask for it, so they go around and they have a blowtorch on everybody else.
Girl. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can name a person right now. I can name a few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Mm-mm.
Yeah. But so what's coming up for you right now? Because I had said to Jessica, I'm like, you're looking down. What's going on?
Yes, I mean I feel a little bit lighter after you had mentioned that. I'm like, oh shoot. But also, I drank my tea, and oftentimes herbs hold space, help us hold space for the emotions, help to transmute them. I was drinking rose, so that's super high frequency.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just working through these really heavy. I guess I'm grieving the loss of a relationship, and I guess look, I keep getting dreams. It's time to speak your truth. Speak your truth. But yes, I'm grieving the conclusion of a relationship, and um, it's like different stages of grief,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird. And so it's every time, and it's like every weekend there's a new thing to grieve, a new thing to grieve. You know, when
Mm.
I have it's when I have to be around other people. There's you go do things. I'm always doing stuff on the weekends around family or doing this, doing that. Um and it's
Particularly the person's family.
exactly, yes.
Yeah.
And it unlocks something new. It just like another okay, the door got 20 different locks on it, 20 different deadbolts, and we're unlocking them one by one.
Mm-hmm.
One by one.
Yeah.
The specific relationship was about what 18, 19 years long. So that's a lot to unlock, a lot to unravel. And it's one thing, it's the realization of I let myself sit through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And had a blind eye towards so much. But then also specifically, what came up today is okay, not only did I let myself sit through this, but the people, specifically friends of said person, were aligning with this you know, new things that was going on, was just like,
Mm-hmm.
not, not trying to guide people in the right direction, which again, the people you have around you matters,
Mm-hmm.
because they can aid in your downfall or help you raise up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know I said a lot of encrypted stuff, but um yeah, maybe one day on the pod I'll feel comfortable
Yeah.
to share more. But that's just I'm just having the realization of exactly how much my presence to this person was not valued.
Mm.
And it's like,
Mm.
if it's just like, you just keep getting exposed, like, okay, well, look, this happened and this happened and that happened. Okay, but did you know that when this happened, this also happened? And it's
Yeah.
like unlocking over and over again. And it's definitely very incredibly spiritual,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
incredibly spiritual. Just the way that, and it's allowing myself to be there, also allowing spirit to hold me as well.
Mm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, and then giving yourself time to process, time to, you know, heal through it,
Yeah.
sit with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes a lot of courage just to share, obviously on this show, on the podcast, and
Yeah.
it is healing, but it also takes courage, and so you have to be comfortable with what you share, and um, also protect your privacy and your peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely respect the level in which you're sharing right now, and knowing that it shouldn't be out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so definitely want you to feel as comfortable and safe as possible, because this is a safe space, but it needs to be to at your own discretion. And I think that it's going to be incredibly healing for you and for other people. You'll be able to listen back to where you're at right now. um and just, but like I was saying, just acknowledging, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I see,
Mm-hmm.
like, you can definitely say that there is growth and there is healing that is happening, because grief is not linear. It's cyclical. It's You're gonna go back and forth and go, forwards, backwards, side to side, and you are gonna be seeing things. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
I told you, like, it's gonna be year 5 afterwards, and you're gonna be like, that was that. You're gonna have something's gonna pop in your mind. That was that. Oh my gosh! Like, you're gonna be discovering new things every which
Yes.
way forward. It's gonna be like whiplash, roller coaster. What? Um,
Yes. And it's so that's the thing. I know we've been on this segment for a long time, but that's the thing
that's
when it
okay.
comes to
That's okay.
spiritually nourishing yourself. Like you had brought up, it's the listening, right?
Mhm.
And allowing yourself to be in that space, nourishing yourself enough to be in that space to hear, um, and that allowing myself to see those things, to be given, like, hey, just this is why this has happened, this is why this is here, do you see this now? And it's like, well, damn, like I moved on, this I'm processing this, um so I guess I could say so well, or I'm at this point now where I'm okay to look back and see this part,
Right.
because before I couldn't see that part, or else I was not going to get out of bed for like 3 days, but
Mhm.
now, okay, I can look back and I see, oh, this is, another aspect of the situation. So,
Yeah.
and what I'm talking about, you guys, specifically is betrayal. Okay, so I was betrayed, and in many ways, and that is a that comes with a spiritual awakening in itself, because as you said, Ilissa, everything is a reflection of you. And so I've had to go through, well, how have I been betraying myself?
Mm.
And that is the the spiritual work that I've been like.
What? Ah,
Mhm. That's the only way. That's the only way I could be betrayed is because I was not honoring myself. I was not nourishing myself. In every single way
girl.
that we have stated in this series,
I,
I was not doing it.
I got chills up my whole entire body.
Yeah.
Now we getting into it, okay? Now this is a podcast right now. This is a podcast
Yes.
right now, okay?
Yes. And as you know, so this morning I realized like while I'm trying to get ready for this for us to be on here and I'm like, what the hell? It's three people that have betrayed me. It is that person, it is this person, it is like all three in different ways, you
Mhm.
know. I had a this is not a romantic relationship, but I had a friendship that ended and I felt like it was a betrayal because of the resentment that they were holding that I didn't know about. And you know, that in itself, like you cannot resent someone, holding that from someone that you consider a really good friend is, you know, a betrayal. Like you have to let things out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then, you know, it's like someone else that's close to me for the same amount of time for
Mhm.
them to go along with this betrayal where I'm like, okay, well, if this person is making all of these choices and making these mistakes that affect a lot of people, you're just gonna you gonna let it happen. Just
Yeah.
don't. Like you're not gonna say nothing.
Girl, there's so many things that I could say. Like
Yes,
I'm not even gonna get into it. I want to get back into what you were saying because, like I said, we have to be
yes.
respectful of the situation.
So I am reclaiming myself and
Yes,
like, okay,
yes,
Jess, you're not betraying yourself no more because that energy ends here and it ends
yes,
now.
yes. Absolutely, absolutely. It's the taking responsibility and saying, look, if a mirror in this relationship, and if my relationships or the people that are in my life hold up mirrors to me, how was I betraying myself? In what ways was I betraying my? And how do I now change that and fix it and live a different life?
Mm, yep.
So good work. This is good. This is good. Me and Jessica, when we do these topics, we know that it's going to bring up some stuff for us. And it could be either one of us, it could be both of us at the same time. And so right now, Jessica's is really, this nourishment is hitting deep because it's causing us to really consider and think about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was definitely, I didn't think this was gonna go here, but this is why we're doing this podcast. This is exactly why we're doing this podcast. So I'm excited. That this was a good podcast today. It's like, okay, we was podding today.
Thanks for my free therapy.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
It's the
I
truth.
don't I mean, thank you. I receive it. I don't believe that I am was even doing therapy, but this is healing. It is therapy to
Hmm.
speak and share, and it is healing to be a witness. So
Hmm.
thank you for allowing me to be a witness to your healing. It is also healing me, and it is serving both of us in our highest good. So
Yes.
reciprocal exchange of energy. So thank you. But we want to encourage everybody to go follow us on Instagram so you don't miss anything at Keep Expecting Miracles Pod. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Keep Expecting Miracles and send us in your manifestation stories. We know that you guys want to manifest things or even success manifestation. Like, what have y'all manifested in the past, or what are you currently manifesting right now? We could just do our manifestations and have all the things that we want to come true. But we want to hear from our listeners, from the
Hmm.
people that are um listening to us every week. We want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep sending us positive energy and vibes. We have such good stuff coming up. We have a really good series. We've been interviewing people, so we're excited for that. So be on the lookout for the series that comes out after this.
Yes.
We're extremely excited. So thank you guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.